Hi, Sam Pollack with the Daytona Beach Area Convention and Visitors Bureau.
There you go.
How you
Finally, you
doing?
got someone important on your broadcast.
It's about time, my
I'm
gosh.
telling you, I've seen all the interviews, and I got to tell you, it looks like I'm the biggest star you got.
I tried to get Bob Davis, but he was like, no, get Sam instead.
Yeah.
I actually do. I miss though. You know what? Wednesday mornings, they're like everyone. So 4 Wednesdays in a month, most of the time. So 2 are for Million Cups, and then 1 is for my SCORE board meeting, and then the other one
Yep.
is for the Florida lodging or Volusia County lodging and dodging. So I love that. So how you been? How have you been before and after the COVID? Well, before, during, and then soon will be after the COVID-19.
I've been busy. We've changed a couple groups. We've have groups inside our destination, as you know, that produce a lot of business for the retail stores and the restaurants and for the hotels themselves. And we've had to move a couple dates from March, April, and May to September, October, November.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Be a little cooler. But
Yeah, I mean, the best thing is that we pushed it for the end of the year instead of canceling it. We've influenced everyone not to cancel. So
people
that's the best
understand
part.
that, though. People understand the importance of keeping business. What is the hashtag? There's a few different hashtags for the meeting and event industry.
Sorry, say it again.
There are a few different hashtags for the meeting and event industry that I see. What are they?
It's Love Daytona Beach. And what's the other one? Love Daytona Beach and Love Daytona Beach.
Yeah, what about the ones like don't cancel, just postpone?
Well, in the whole industry, yes. The whole industry as a total, yeah. Don't cancel. Move forward. Yeah.
So now, are you?
Yeah, it's a hardship. It's a hardship on, I think, 1/3 of the country's revenue is from this industry, from the hospitality industry. At least 1/3 of it.
All right, and that affects us because we sell the promotional products for the industry, so we're being hit.
It goes down. We're the middle of America.
I know.
We're underneath the 2%.
Now I have
1%.
so true. I have heard some of the larger groups they'll do like 4 or 5 days of online video meetings, different rooms, but that's difficult too because you don't really know if people are focusing as much as they should. How do you really know that they're really getting the information?
Yeah. And I hope that's not the trend. I hope that's not the trend where we're going to go with this virtual meetings, but I don't think we will. I think face to face is more important. I think people are going to get together because in big associations, as you mentioned, they're breakout rooms and they have different seminars or different kind of congregations in their seminars, different topics and different breakouts. So, and they all have lunch together and then they have beverages together and then they do something in different states and different cities and they go to the racings or to the horse or to Madison Square Garden or to a sporting event. They have FAMs, they do tours together, they do client events together. So it's not going to break up the harmony. This Zoom thing is going to go away hopefully pretty soon. I
feel like it. I actually felt comfortable. So Debbie came in. So I had someone that was going to do my dog was a mess. I mean, like really, I feel bad, guilty mother mess, even worse than me. So and then I thought she was bringing a van, which is okay that she didn't. So she had come in, but I actually don't have like, oh my God, could she have COVID? She wasn't like, do you have COVID? And I know it's like could be a bad thing, but I'm ready to like I think because we're already like phase 1, so it feels like okay, things are lifting. I could go to the beach and then start the meetings.
Yeah, it'll get better. It'll get better pretty soon. I suspect probably by the summertime it'll get better, and then you'll see all these little things on Facebook and LinkedIn. Oh, he touched me, or he's getting close to me. Oh my God! And then by this fall or winter time, we'll get back to normal again.
Oh, so I do sell the masks that have the full color imprint on them. So we could do really something fun like here. That would be fun, like actually like maybe a beach smile with the water and the sand. And
I was thinking about that too.
Yeah. And then hand
I was thinking about that.
But hand sanitizers have to be ordered now because they're not coming in for another 6 to 8 weeks. So
And you guys are really working. It chaps your hands.
And the mask, how do you do with the mask anyways? Are you, like, I had a mask the other day and I really go out of my skin with it. It's like hot and sweaty and I don't like it.
I've been quarantined in my house for over a month and a half. I don't go out.
At all?
If I go out to water the garden, I mean, the only place we go to is Lowe's. That's my Walt Disney World. So every chance I get, I try to buy a flower and plant it in the back every week. Yeah, flower. I get flour, dirt, and mulch and everything. It's a 3 combo, and I go in the back and I plant it. Then I go, all right, what else is to do? Get back in the house. Okay.
What about groceries? Who's doing the grocery shopping?
Groceries, we pick them up. We order them, and we go to the store and pick them up. We go to the store and pick them up, and yet somebody wants me to get out of my car and help and give a helping hand. But it defeats the purpose.
That's funny. The curbside delivery. That
Go outside to go help him out and everything. He's not old. He's young.
You know what? I'm such a bad shopper that actually I could never do the job of being a shopper for like an Instacart because I can't even shop for myself. So
you get used to it after a while. I mean, everything is on the internet.
So tell me more. I want to hear more. So are you missing your office? Are you missing your beautiful office with your water view?
Oh, I miss my office. I miss the people I roam around with 8 hours a day. I miss going to the industry shows. I miss bringing people into our destination and showcasing the Daytona Beach. I miss, having lunch at our favorite restaurants. I miss a lot of stuff. And eventually I'll get back to it. But at least this time when I go to these restaurants, I'm going to introduce myself and say, hey, I'm going to be here next week. And I'll give a shout out. And it's not, I mean, they're not listening anyhow. But on Beach Street, Rosie's on Beach Street. Have I ever taken you over there?
No.
Or have you gone there on your own? So this is a place I go on every Wednesday afternoon. I go once a week. I go every Wednesday. Now they all know me over there. So now I can only go every 2 weeks.
Stand here.
Yeah. You're going to have the same thing? Yeah. I'm going to have the same thing. Yeah. Why spoil something? But, going to Rosie's and they know me and they trust me. And now they asked me, hey, we do catering. So if you have any groups coming in, I was like, wait a minute. I never told you what I did. I never told you what I do for a living. I don't wear a name tag. So now they Google me, they find out who you are. They Google you and they start breaking bread at the restaurant every time I order. I was like, great. Can I get a cannoli for free on my bread, on my dessert?
I'll edit this out. I'll edit this so that we have Sam, and then I'll make a big headline. Sam Pollack eats Rosie's every 2 weeks.
Yeah. They know it. They know it. They're good. They're good folks. I try to support the mom and pa's of the working industry. So, except
I
going to Lowe's.
I do love Sweet Marleys. I love all the restaurants there. I love the vegetarian one. I hope that they all are able to come back.
Marley.
Yeah.
And we go there for coffee all the time.
It's so cozy and comfy.
Yeah.
I love
10
that.
o'clock, you can see all the locals over there.
I love it. Well, we do the 1 million cups on Wednesday. That's 9 to 10. And then I can meet someone at Marley's. So I've met a few score clients at Marley's, which is lovely. And then if I'm lucky enough, the nitrate, the ice cream store opens up. I can't think of their name. Sorry. And then
the ice cream place. Are they still open? Because I checked them out. They were supposed to do an event for me in last September, and I never went through. So I'm just thinking either they cut their hours or cut days. But the ice cream place. Now again, it's a novelty, so who knows if they're still in business, right?
So it's interesting reading. I mean, they literally, in order to even just like take the time and close the doors, they have to empty everything. So every freezer, everything has to be cleaned.
And they still have to pay rent too. It's not like they're leaving. Everyone still has to pay rent. So it's tough.
One more shout out. I love that Irish restaurant. I really feel like when you walk in the door, like I'm at a Disney. I just feel that way.
McKay's again. It just brings back certain restaurants in Daytona Beach have great ambiance. You know, Joe's Crab Shack has great ambiance. The Deck Down Under and Ocean Breeze, you know, they all have it. The hotels are great too. If you ever go into the hotels for their restaurants, they give out specials every other week or so. We have new properties coming on into the beach line, I think, and we have condominiums growing. We have like, I mean, there's 14 empty parcels, 16 empty parcels on the beach line, and I see people are building now.
Right.
So I see contractors, I see developers, and this is the perfect time. 4 years ago was the perfect time, but now it's still the perfect time to build, and you'll see that on the beach line now, which is great.
Mm-hmm. It is. It really is.
More jobs, people coming through. You have construction workers. They'll stay at the economic hotels. It's great, you know.
I love the growth. I'm in Daytona leadership. So I'm a little sad that we don't we'll kick off after the fall, but I love the growth and what they're doing, and it makes a lot of sense, sensible growth. And I'm so excited that we're going to come back. I think we're all like itching to come back, which, by the way, so the last thing I really saw before like we shut down was Lori Campbell Baker on her motorcycle. She's the coolest. I was like a 5-year-old next to her. I'm like, Lori, like that is so cool to be riding a motorcycle. I just like fell in love with her. I'm like, wow, so brave too. I'm like a wimp. I can't even like get it behind a bike. She's awesome.
She's a tough lady. She's really a tough lady.
I love her. So I actually re-signed up so that I could sit on the Halifax Arts Advisory Council again, because I love it.
It's great. You know, it really is. If everyone knows everyone, and we can do a lot of business together, I believe, you know, the chamber does a lot of business. I like the chamber too. I like the leads programs that they have, each individual with their companies, so they can help each other out, you know. And if one of them actually wanted to host, if they belong to a big association and they wanted to host something, and I would be more than welcome to help them out and host something in one of their hotels, you know. Yeah,
I always felt like could be a little more synergy between, because you're on top of each other, literally.
You would think, you know, and I have gone up there. I have gone up there back in the day, maybe about 5-6 years ago. I've gone up there, and I've said a couple times, I said, hey, you know, if in your industries or in your companies, if you have a bigger organization, or you're part of a bigger organization, let's say Mary Kay or even public relations or the chamber associations and whatnot. And they're all part of an association which has meetings. And if you would love to be a host, if you want to roll out their red carpet, you know, when they have their banquet with music playing, hey man, let's do it. You know, I do that to all the groups.
I have a question. So I had my buddy Shane Harbin on, and Shane is a award-winning pianist and a composer. We were talking about meeting and events, and he did an annual meeting, and he composed all the music for it. And then I was telling him, when I did my little 3-minute skit on lip sync challenge for American Cancer, and I did hair toss, check your nails, baby, how you feeling? Good as hell. So when I did that, they shut me down in like a minute. Like I couldn't believe it. But actually, are you familiar with are you familiar with the rulings of playing music during an event if it's copyrighted music?
No, you know, what I'm saying is, if you're hosting an event, if you're let's say the Daytona Beach Chamber is part of the Florida Chamber, one of Florida chambers. And if they were hosted in Daytona Beach and they had their banquet and they just played everyone went into the banquet and sat down and were ready for dinner, but the lights flicked down and Tina Turner's music came on, Simply the Best. And then and then doors open up, and then now Daytona Beach Chamber came into the ballroom, you know, playing that music. Everyone would either clap or go, oh, this is the host. Oh, now we have to clap. They've done a great job hosting. That's what I mean.
Oh, so nobody's gonna say like call the family.
Yeah, no. If you were gonna have, if the local fraternity was going to have their big regional event in Daytona Beach, and you know, if they were going to bring in the band, let's just say, and you know, the band was going to play, it was going to be anonymous and no one was going to know about it except for the local chamber or the local fraternity, local chapter, and they would get a big kick out of it. And that's raising the bar. That's what I call raising the bar.
That's awesome. I want everyone who doesn't know you to know, as far as like you worked at Disney, and then how you even got to meeting and events. I mean, I met you when you were with the lovely property, the Hilton. But
I heard about that conversation. I'm going to get her later. I started my career with Disney World. I was what did I do? I did attractions. Actually, it's a funny story. It's a true story, funny story. I got hired at Disney World. They didn't tell me what I was going to do. So they said, hey, put on this costume, and here are balloons. Try to sell the balloons. I go, all right. So I'm in the Magic Kingdom, and I'm selling the balloons. And this guy, Mike, is right next to me, and he's like, so you think you can sell the balloons? Yeah, I can sell balloons. All right, you're on. Okay. Who's this guy coming up to me? So he's selling balloons, $5 and everything. I sold 10, and within about 10 minutes, I got another batch. Mike's getting another batch. I'm getting, oh, this is on, man. Okay, not a problem. I'm selling with a smile, and by the end of the day, I sold about 95, 100 balloons, and he sold, I think he sold a lot more. But right there and then, I got the job that they put me in, and that was into Indiana Jones, the stunt show. I did the stunt show for about 4 years, I hung out at MGM Studios, or Hollywood Studios as they call it now, and I did the great movie ride, Indiana Jones. I kept my mouth shut during politics and everything. I met a couple guys, and we went out to California to do a couple stunts in B-rated movies. Not that popular, but Disney. What's the production company? Columbia Films, I believe it is. And then I got a tip later on that Disney World was going to buy everybody out. ABC, ESPN, Paramount Films. So we just became independent contractors. And then that's when big stuff started happening. And I started doing independent work here in Florida. All the Adam Stupid Sandler movies came out, and I was an extra, either with all the stupid Adam Sandler movies. We did John Q, Any Given Sunday. That was down here in Florida. This is all older movies. Any Given Sunday. All the stupid Adam Sandler movies. Any Given Sunday.
God. I would like to say that I love Adam Sandler. His mother-in-law was friends with my mother. So that is coming.
Never met him. Never met him.
I did.
Never met him. But I got to meet Ray Liotta one time, waiting 16 hours for the set and everything, and said, "I love you in Goodfellas," and he said, "That's good." And and then at Disney World, I was there for about 9-10 years. I ended up on the cruise line. I had a mentor, and he brought me onto the cruise line for about 2 years. Great experience to work on a ship. Just did it for 2 years because I felt a little bit claustrophobic after 2 years.
What were you doing on the cruise ship?
I was doing entertainment. I was doing entertainment on the cruise ship. I was doing the shows, as they call them. I won't tell you what I do. And then I just, after 2.5 years, I just gave it up, I guess. And I went down to Miami Beach, lived with my grandmother at the time. And she said, go get a job. And I said, I got enough money here to last us forever. Now go get a job. You don't need to be hanging out with me. So I got a job. I walked into one of the hotels. A buddy of mine told me at the time, he says, the hotels here in Miami Beach are easy to work at and everything. All you got to do is speak English. Okay. So I applied to a couple hotels, and the Fountain Blue at the time took me in. Wow. And they took me in, they saw my resume, and they said, oh, you're the guy. So I applied, and I talked to them for about 4 times. And I was thinking, hey, man, you got to make a decision here. And they were just making sure that I was in the right position. They put me in as assistant manager of the hotel, which means nothing. It's not a big title. It's complaint department.
Okay.
So I found out why it wasn't such a big deal, because the employees that were in the same department as I was would call in. So if I worked on a 7 to 3 shift, sometimes I'd be working at 3 o'clock to 11 o'clock or around the clock sometimes. I mean, it was salary. So it's like, oh God, I got to do this. And then the complaints and all that stuff. So it was operations I was in. So how did I get into sales? Easy. I was in charge of the whole hotel. And one day I took out Apple computers or IBM. And I took them out in Miami Beach, and I got the I was in charge of the limo. I took the guys out and blah, blah, blah. And the guy said, hey man, you should go into sales. You actually listen, you know. I go, say it again. No, you're an order taker. You listened to me and everything. You did exactly what I said and everything. The other guys, they don't listen. I was like, is that a bad thing? You know, I'm supposed to listen. That's my job. He says, exactly. That's your job, to listen. Not to say anything, but to listen. So there was a position available in catering sales. And I applied, and the guy said, heck no. And so I applied again. The guy said, heck no. And this is and Miami Beach, this guy was real nails. He was real hard on nails, and he wouldn't give anyone a chance. He didn't know them and blah, blah, blah. He'd rather do it himself. And I said, hey, brother, I don't know what it is, but I want to do this. And he says, do you know anything? Do you know anybody? Do you know this? Do you know that? And I went, oh yeah, I know people. I know people that know people. You'd be surprised and everything. I know nobody. I knew nobody. I didn't know a single thing. The only thing I remember was, and this is for everybody, was Father the Bride. Father of the Bride, I remembered, and I just took lines from there, and I said, yeah, I can do this. So I won't tell you the hardship, but I got the position. I was a catering sales manager. I was dealing with weddings and everything. And then the first thing I learned was all the trade shows, the wedding guild, the bureau, the chamber, and just advertisements. Just going out there. And the first wedding had to be a huge wedding where the guy wanted to land it out of it was a millionaire. He wanted to take the helicopter, land in the beach, and take a walk. His girl wanted to take the horse and everything. I said, yeah, sure, not a problem. You can do all this stuff. Just need you to sign a waiver, and that's it. Not a problem. I know the helicopter guy. I know the horse guy. It was a pony. I knew I just had to get a diaper for the horse and everything, just in case and everything. You know, I don't want my job to be in it, but I executed, and it was a great, $1 million wedding. Wow. So I got recognized by the sales director, and then he moved me up from catering manager, which now the catering director didn't want to see me go. They're offering me a little bit more money, go up there, and that's what I did. I wanted to grow. So I became a sales manager at the Fontainebleau. It didn't last that long because we had one of the worst disasters in this country at that time, and everyone lost their position. And I fell out. You know, unfortunately, I fell out of the employment. I fell out of employment, I guess. It took me about 2 years to get back into the hotels, and it's who you know. It's also what you know, but it's also who you know. I came back to Orlando and opened up a hotel. There was a landmark that was changing names. And the general manager of the hotel used to work with me at the Fontainebleau. And he says, I don't have your position right here, but if you stay with us, if you work with us, I can get you that position. I can get you into sales if you work with us. And I said, yeah, sure. So I did the night audit. You got to sacrifice somehow. So I did the night audit for about 5-6 months. Sales position came available, and I booked it. Yeah, that was me. I booked it. Let me tell you when I booked it. I got into sales. I was working out at Bally's. All the wrestlers were there. These the wrestlers from it was the wrestling company that was there. I was wrestling at Universal Studios. So I was wrestling, and I guess the night before they had a pay-per-view, and it was when Hulk Hogan, the good guy Hulk Hogan, turned bad, and oh my God, that place went nuts. And the next morning, they're all working out in the gym, and I'm going, oh my God, did they open it up to the public? So I'm working out, and I'm going, hey, brother, what you did last night. And of course I had to look up and everything. What you did last night was just wrong. And they explained the story to me. And I said, so where are you guys staying tonight? And they said, the Holiday Inn. Well, not tonight. You're not. I booked that contract for 2 years. This is, first year in the job, booked that conference. And that's where I learned sales.
That is a great story, Sam.
Yeah, I mean, the wrestlers beat me up, and yeah. But I worked in Orlando for a little bit, and of course, economy changes, and a lot of people had to go through a recession. Went through a recession. With all the clients I had. I didn't waste any time. Became an independent meeting planner. Helped out about 10 to 12 clients for about 4 years. And then all of a sudden, there's a position in Daytona Beach, and I applied for it. And you made the right choice. No, I'm kidding.
You did. I kind of remember when you were going. I was a little jealous. I was in Tucson. I was like, wow. And it's just wild because the executive director at the time used to work in a different state. And when I was an independent meeting planner, I actually booked tons of business in his little city. He remembered the name, but he didn't know the face. And all he had to do was get the personality. And of course, who could say no to this? Nobody.
Who could say no to this?
It's a small world, isn't it?
It is in this industry, it's a small world. Yeah.
Everyone knows each other.
Yeah, and you don't want to burn any bridges, and you always want to be nice to people. And, even if you have to leave early when everyone's having a beverage, leave early.
Scary. They'll remember you left early. But I noticed that, and I noticed when I was at MPI, which I really did love MPI, and it was the best time. It's a wonderful board to serve on. But when I was with MPI and we would go somewhere, everyone in the event industry would know, like the manager. Orlando too. Like Orlando has, what is it? Like almost 800,000 people live in Orlando. And yet in the hospitality industry, everybody knows each other. That's amazing.
Which is good. It's just good. If everyone's friendly with everyone, a lot of business can be done.
It is really, really true.
As long as there's no egos involved, and yeah, you're good. We're good.
I love
the same thing. We have lovely people that work in the industry here in Daytona Beach. And we're going to have more people probably coming out of Orlando when all the other hotels open up. And we're just hoping that everyone comes in, great smile, and just want to work together. That's all I want to do is really work together with my hotel partners and just become, I like the saying deputy mayor of Daytona Beach because I actually, people remember me if I'm deputy mayor instead of just, I bring sales groups in. Well, what is that? So I tell them I'm deputy mayor of tourism. Better catchy title and everything,
It's a big deal.
Catchy title.
I want to say this. So it really is a big deal. And I don't know if most people realize when they go to Google something about Daytona Beach and what's happening, they end up on the Convention and Visitors Bureau website, but they don't even really realize it, right? Like that's so funny but I also want to say that people that are in Daytona should, if you're having an event, you post it on the site. It's a beautiful site to post. If you're doing an event, if you're listening and you're outside and you're from Texas, you want to come to Daytona, you have to use a CVB, use a meeting planner, use a CVB, do it right. Because at the end of the day, you save money. I don't know why anyone wouldn't want to save money by making sure they're going to the right place. And nobody knows your own money like the CVB.
CVBs are hidden gems.
They really are.
That's what they are. Meeting planners and organizations know, I believe, but some don't know all the information, all the hidden valuables that we offer. And it's a shame. But hey, that's my job. My job is to go out there and to sponsor an event and to get 10 minutes of everyone's attention and then to say what we have to offer. And whether I have to wear something like a racetrack or fancy hat or anything to get their attention, I do it,
I got some stuff for you too. Fancy hats, ones with lights.
Yeah.
Socks.
I know. Well, the socks no one's going to see, but If I had Thor's hammer, everyone would take a look at me, wouldn't they?
Isn't this a bright idea?
They're all bright ideas.
Big highlighter.
I just have to get their attention, and then once I get their attention, I have to sell them, and that's it. And whether it goes from Maine to Las Vegas, those meeting planners have to see the second-tier cities. I believe it's a little, it's competition. We're up against a lot of competition, but we have the beach, so
and drive on it.
You can drive on it. I don't want to tell a group that has 150 people to drive on the beach. They're all going to get rental cars and drive on the beach. But yeah, you can see people driving on the beach, but it's the beach.
An experience.
It is, and that's all I ask them for once in their life. Just come to the beach, not Virginia Beach, not Myrtle Beach.
Your Daytona
not
Beach.
Savannah, just come to our beach line and everything, where you could drive on the beach and you're at the world's most famous beach. I try the slogans. I do my very best, and it works. Sometimes it does really work. We have a lot of groups that have never discovered or never even thought about coming to Daytona Beach, had their annual conference, would love to come again, or will praise it with their coworkers and different organizations. So yeah, it works out.
So true. So Sam,
I'm trying to do a great job.
We have to go, but when it's open again, is it okay? I feel I always love to say a salmon, and then if you are in and you're busy, just say back off, Adrienne, come back another time. If you're free, then because I feel guilty, like I don't want to waste anyone's time.
I would never say back off.
Really?
I would never say back off, Adrienne. No, I would always say get out, Adrienne, come back another time. No, I enjoy, that our friendship goes back quite some time. And,
2007.
Yeah, and we're in 2009, and we go back way. You're a good friend. Oh,
yeah, thank you for being on. It was really great, and you really did a great job. You're right about that. I really appreciate it. Just seeing you and looking at you makes me feel happy. And
you should move up after the arts and councils. You should actually move up.
I should move up.
You should move up. Well, there's different positions in the Daytona Beach area. I think you would be great in.
Okay, I appreciate that. Oh, so I want to just say to you, so Heather, who's coming up next, is really an amazing artist. Do you remember Sandy Giroux in Orlando, a speaker? When you see her smile, just I would sit in the front and just watch her. So I just wanted to say that too, because we have some excellent speakers. And then Kathleen Bellarose is coming up too, who with a pink lotus. I think everyone's going to want a massage. So I'm excited. I love you started the day so wonderful, and you're handsome. Enjoy being in quarantine for just another week or so. Mwah. Bye, Sam.
I will. And then when we get back to normal and I get back into the office, lunch is on you at Rosie's.
Oh, I would love that. I would like to treat myself. And you. All right. Bye. You're so funny.
Bye, Adrienne.
Stop the stream.